Hi, class. How are you today? We're going to tackle the Reader's Theater first and then the Chamber's Theater. This time, we're going to learn about the Reader's Theater. Take note that Reader's Theater and Chamber Theater are two different performances. However, each performance has features that are similar with the other. Reader's Theater is a group technique of telling a story. Readers read from a script, and reading parts are divided among the readers. No memorization, costumes, blocking, or special lighting is needed. The focus is on reading the text with expressive voices and gestures. What are the important roles in the reader's theater? Reader, actor, the character in the story who reads their assigned lines on audience. The narrator is an assigned person who reads the lines or passages which explain an action or describe a scene or a character. The number of readers is often determined by the number of characters in the chosen story. Let's now move on to the characteristics of an interesting reader's theater presentation. First, the readers do not interact in the same way the actors do in a conventional play. They do not look at the persons with whom they are speaking. Instead, these readers direct their lines to the audience. Secondly, there is no need for props on stage, for no visual action is done. The theater is in the minds of the audience. Thirdly, each reader holds a copy of the selection, therefore, they do not need to memorize their lines. Number four, when more than one reader reads the lines of a character or narrator, they must speak as one. They must pronounce words in the same way and follow the same phrasing and intonation patterns. Not one voice should dominate or stick out. Next, the readers must practice good moral reading guidelines such as the following. Read loud enough to be heard. Pronounce words clearly and correctly. Hold the book or material properly. Stand erect, feet a little apart, one foot a bit forward. Vary the voice for expression, volume, pitch, tone quality, and speed. Let the face mirror what is being said. Look at the audience often to make them feel that you are talking to them. The audience must understand what is being said so they can imagine what is happening. Their interest must be aroused so that they will eagerly follow the events up to the end. This time, we're going to learn about the chamber theater. What is chamber theater? Chamber theater is a method of adapting literary works to the stage using a maximal amount of the work's original text and often minimal and suggestive settings. You will read everything in the story as the author wrote it, and you don't have to worry about costumes and props. You could add some props or costumes, but not too much. In chamber theater, narration is included in the performed text, and the narration might be played by multiple actors. When you do a chamber theater, the narrator should not be passive. He or she will also have to passionately and energetically read his or her lines. Also, chamber theater cannot be done by a single person. Multiple actors are needed. Narration could also be done not just by one person, rather, other actors could also narrate some parts. The uniqueness of chamber theater lies in the dual role of each member in the cast, as an actor or actress, as well as the narrator. You can act and tell a story at the same time. Are you a good actor or actress? Can you tell stories nicely? Each participant is thus an actor, actress, narrator. An actor or actress interacts with other characters, yet retains the role of narrator, author, who summarizes, describes, and explains to an audience. Do it confidently. Interact with the audience. Look at them and speak to them. They will be ruptured and mesmerized with the performance. Chamber theater has more realistic costuming and actual movement around the stage. That is compared to reader's theater. Remember, aside from having no costume and props, reader's theater is mainly about reading the script enthusiastically and without interaction with other readers. Chambers theater still is not complete stage acting and typically has pantomime props rather than real ones. That is compared to formal theater play. Chamber theater may have interaction in props and costumes, but these are all done while holding the scripts or books. The readers are not also walking or moving from one place to another on the stage. They stay in place and there they act on their roles. What skills do you develop when you do chamber theater? Creativity and variety in creating vocal interpretation. Use of sense memory. Use of movement, gesture, posture, and facial expression. Overall clarity and entertainment value of performance. How do you choose what piece to present in a chamber theater? The choice for a chamber theater material is often a prose narrative, a fable, a legend, modern short story, or even part of a novel. Sometimes a narrative poem is chosen. How do you know if a chamber theater is done well? Number one, a good plot. The plot should be simple enough to be understood, yet with some conflict to make it interesting. Events are often chronologically sequenced. Number two, a clearly defined characterization. This is needed so that the audience can easily differentiate a personality type from another. Three, enough dialogue. There should be sufficient lines to show the interaction between the characters. This does not refer to direct dialogues enclosed in quotation marks only. The lines that explain action or feeling can also be said in the manner of dialogue. Number four, scenes are easy to portray on stage. Stories with scenes that do not need so much movement, like a battle scene, or realistic props that are bulky are preferred. Reader's theater versus chamber theater. Reader's theater have no interactions among readers in the stage. On the other hand, in chamber theater, the actors or actresses speak directly to one another as in a play, then turn to the audience for a narration. That's the end of our lesson. Thank you and see you next time.